What's up, folks? How you doing? We should get some music in here while we're waiting for folks to file on in. What's up, PSW 2011? Y'all can hear me okay, right? You can hear? Give me a little heads up if you can hear me. Is this the first ever? I think, did I do one other private live stream before? I forget. I've been testing this stuff out just to make sure it works properly. You can hear me? Good stuff. Good stuff. It's not too loud, not too crazy. Oh boy, it's gonna be a fun one. We're gonna go live, maybe like 9:05, let's say. I want to let people sort of file in, as many of them as they can, because we've given them pretty short notice. This will all be going live in the next, like, probably in an hour or two, maybe. But the nature of this project, I thought it'd be super cool to do. This is a special one. This is a real special thing we're doing here. So, I thought y'all might have some questions. I'm saying y'all a lot. I'm thinking you might have some questions. I can't answer all of them, but I can probably give insight into a bunch of them. Yeah, and I thought it might be an interesting process just to do it. Let me make sure I got all the tweets. I got the tweet out. Let me make sure I got it. Do it on my own Twitter account here as well. Make sure we get as many folks as possible. I know it's an awkward time as well because West Coast is probably, they're like, goddamn, 6 a.m. in the morning. What's going on? But we've got a lot of unveiling and shit, unveiling and conversing and stuff to do today. Hello from Okinawa. Oh my God, Dan Will. How you doing, my friend? What time is it over there? Actually, what up, Cubs lover? I'm trying to think how many early access patrons we actually have. It's been quiet on this front as well, by the way. Apologies. You're about to find out why, and everything will make sense for the last couple of years. Actually, let me flick over to my camera here. Hey, what's up? Good morning. Everything should kind of make sense. Once you kind of see this, it'll make sense why we were a little bit looked like we were taking our time back here for the past couple of months. We've got about 600 in total folks that fall into that. Credits the production hangouts and early access. Actually going to be doing, if you're into production hangout, we're doing our first production hangout of the year. I did a post about it a couple of months back, or a couple of weeks back. But we'll be doing our first production hangout of the year this Sunday. I'm going to tweet about it tomorrow. Again, because of the sort of nature of this crazy project. Okay, we're starting to fill in a bit now. 25, here we go. 5 a.m. in Alaska. My God, thank you so much. Fair play. Almost 10 p.m. Thursday. Watching from Chicago. Scotland representing. What time is it there? It's like lunchtime or something. Not bad. 11 p.m. in Oz. Hello from India. Geelong, Australia. Geelong? I've never heard that before. Salut, Christophe. Xavier in France. What up, Kentucky? You're like local, comparatively. Sorry, it's been such a busy. I could barely sleep last night. I was so excited to do this stream. So it should be fun. Okay. It's 9 o'clock, so I'm gonna give it another like 5 minutes for people to file in. But I want to give you a little bit of context for everything we'll be doing. So. The idea forever with Noclip was to try and get as much access as possible into the sort of obviously the community stuff like we do with GTA, but also access to game development and the decisions the developers make when they're making games. We over the course of the first year, we sort of started to figure out that a lot of the things that I was planning to do, kind of like retrospective-y stuff, was harder and harder to do, just because the moment those decisions get made, the further away we step from them, the harder it is to sort of to dive right into them. Our second doc on Doom was a good example of where we hit it at the right time. It was like right after the game had come out. A lot of that stuff was pretty fresh in their head still. It had happened like 5 months earlier or something, and that became the sort of camber of a lot of what we decided to do. Then we went to studios right after a game had sort of shipped. And it worked pretty well for like a while there, right? It was okay. This is like a cool, interesting way of getting that type of insight into the development sort of decisions and things like that. The problem is, again, we were just making retrospective stuff. The story had already been told. People knew about what was going on. So we've been very, very diligently trying to do some sort of project that is a game that is in development, ideally. I tried to almost go sort of as far back as we possibly could to games that are in pre-production. And we have a number of irons in the fire in relation to that. The past couple of months has been like a lot of talking to people in very early stages, talking to like in stages of studios are never used to doing before. Did I just get a Twitch pop up? I think I did. I thought I turned those off. Let me delete those just for a second. Thank you to whoever that was. I'll give you a call out in once the stream is over. But that was somebody maybe signing up to Twitter or signing up to our Patreon or something. Anyway, I see the chat has gone completely dead because you're all like listening with bated breath. Say hi again. If you've just joined in, say where you're from. Amsterdam, Seoul, Amsterdam, Horizon, another good example. We kind of hit our shtick, right? So we're at the moment we're doing a bunch of stuff with games that are in early development and whatnot. But the one we have now is not only is it a game we started pre-production on this back in February. We filmed about 6 or 7 weeks ago. No, about 5 weeks ago, maybe less actually now. But this was something we had meetings with for months and months and months and months, and we're sort of slowly putting together. Yeah, sorry if that shotgun scared the shit out of you, Dan. That was pretty bad. What up, Brant? How you doing, my friend? Edmonton, downtown Cleveland, Fairfax, Arkansas. Is that what AK is? Arkansas. Hello from Sweden. Oh my God, Jonas, thank you for joining us. And Chris up in PA. You're just up the road from me. Let's see if we can get this to. But need an extra video editor. Fucking hell, let me tell you. After this one, I wish I could offset the video editing stuff, but I really can't. Let's see. I'm gonna just give it I said I wait until at least 5 past. I might wait until like 6 or 7 past because we just got a little extra flood of people. So the game that we have covered is something that it's a game that's not out yet. It's a game that's not out yet. It's a game that's spent most of the life cycle of this project unannounced. It's a game that will be getting revealed in the next couple of weeks. And it's a game that and the series that we have undertaken has been split into two. One which sort of celebrates the history of the studio that we were focusing on, and also the second part is going to be debuted at E3 for a game that nobody knows what the fuck it is. So it's pretty exciting. We've been sitting on this for months. We've been NDA'd up to the gills. We've been editing stuff with code names and doing all of it offline just in case we had a breach here on our server. We've been I've been recording games on Steam in offline mode so nobody would see what the hell I was playing, because it would be pretty obvious what we were working on if you saw the games I was playing. And Jesus, fucking shotgun, man. I'm so sorry. This thing is still on. Can I turn off Streamlabs? I don't know if I can. I don't know if I can because I'm in the stream now. But yeah, it's by far our biggest project. It's the biggest, the one we've put the most amount of time into, in terms of editing, in terms of production, and it's going to be very interesting. If your name is in the credits on this one, this is going to be fun because a lot of people are going to watch this one. Is the help. Okay, so the shotgun thing, I thought I'd turn all that shit off. So actually, I wonder if I can just turn off Streamlabs entirely. Let me just see if I can turn that off while we're waiting for a minute here. Anyone got any? Stick your over under on what you think the game is in the chat. Go for it and see how close you can get. I'm gonna see if I can turn off. I'm not sure if I can turn off Streamlabs. Streamlabs is basically the thing that, oh, you know what I can do? I can like turn off the shotgun sound. That's what I can do. Streamlabs is the piece of software that basically makes all the pop-ups happen when I'm on Twitch. Widgets, community growth, widgets. Alert box, that's the one. I think, is it? Subscriptions. Oh yeah, here we are. Sound volume, I'll put it to 0. For subscriptions, donations, I'll also put it to 0. Hope that should fix it. Hopefully no more shotgun noise. Sorry for that. It's a bit scary just having a random shotgun pop up in every once in a while. I think that's all I have to do. I think that's it. Sorry, let me check your answers. All right, we got some wrong answers here. We got a lot of wrong answers here. And we got some right answers here. All right. Enough pissing about. Y'all want to see a trailer for something cool before anyone else? 57 in here. God, I'm glad I waited now. All right, without further ado, this is the next project from Noclip. Enjoy. Let me turn off my mic, make sure you can hear properly.
Good, all right, you're streaming live. You may notice we have some cameras here and some guests from the Real Housewives of Rockville. Is that what it is?
So I played Daggerfall first and then got hooked and started playing all the other Bethesda games. But Arena at the time, I was like, oh, I don't know, that cover's so goofy. I don't think I could get into that.
You know, after we finished Redguard, the whole team, the whole entire company went downstairs into the basement and we would all package the games up to be shipped out. And that was sort of how things worked back then.
But I think the technology, it was the first big open world game that anyone could play.
We had to create gun combat from the ground up, something this company hadn't done since the Terminator game.
But I didn't want to tell them, yeah, I'm actually taking pictures of this so I can blow it up in a video game, which is exactly what I was about to do.
We have a lot of takes of Ron Perlman giving us War Never Changes in many, many ways.
We had Skyrim working on Xbox One, like before we had Fallout 4. Like it was like, let's just put it on there and try it.
The first thing is for us is figure out where the hell is this game set? And it wasn't Boston originally.
That last screen is not for you guys. You guys already know about that. Yeah. Woo! I'm like emotional. Fuck, it's so good to be able to finally talk about this. That's yeah, right around the corner. So Tuesday. Episode 1's out Tuesday. Episode 2 is out the following Tuesday. I can't say exactly where, but it's being shown at E3, not at the Bethesda thing, but at a different thing. Thank you so much. I was reading all your messages in the chat. I'm actually recording this. We did a lot of behind the scenes stuff on this, so I'm actually recording this as well. Just here on the chat, just to keep it for prosperity. So thank you all so much. Yeah, so it's two big docs. We've been working on this with them and basically lying to all of you. Sorry. Since back in February. We had a bunch of meetings out there. I knew about the game and everything. They're showing at E3. As far back as then, it's changed a bunch. But we filmed about as late as we could, so we could get, because they're still working on it and figuring stuff out. So we just recorded all our interviews with them about a month ago. Jeremy flew over and stayed at my place here. Esteban came down. We said we had flown somewhere, so sorry about that. And we were there for the best part of, I think we had 6 days of filming there in total. Over a dozen people, like 2 hours with Todd, hours and hours with everyone who's done stuff. Yeah, the idea was to basically do the two docs are pointing in the opposite directions. The first one's about an hour long. It's huge, and it goes into the like we have at least 10 minutes on every game they've made. So Morrowind, we touch on Arena and Daggerfall, Morrowind, Oblivion, Skyrim, Fallout 3, Fallout 4, the whole shebang. They've got their own like sections. Oh my god, the shotgun went off. I'm so sorry. I turned it off. So they all have their own sections in the doc. And then the second one is all about 76, which obviously I can't talk about at all. But we dive into... The idea is they're going to show it at the Bethesda... I forget what they're calling it. Showcase on Sunday. And then our video will be shown on the Tuesday, which will basically answer all the questions that people will have after the showcase. And also show... Victory Shotgun, yeah. And also show... the development, how the game came to be, and all that sort of stuff as well. Yeah, so it's pretty rad, right? This is crazy access. They've been super fun about it. I have been led to believe that Todd Howard watches all of our stuff, and that's why this happened. So thanks to all of you for supporting this, for funding our work. It's geez, that shotgun. I'm so sorry. It's been a hard couple of months trying to I hate not making work. Our Patreon just slipped as well, in case you didn't notice, because all we've done this year is Warframe, basically, and one episode of Bonus Level on the podcast. This took up so much time, and it's practically done. So, like I said, Tuesday, you'll have it early as well, or early access people. You'll have the doc, the Tuesday doc, early. It's coming in pretty hot, but you'll have it early. You'll have it before it goes live. And then I am 98% sure that you will also have early access to the second one. The second one's gonna obviously have a lot of like fanfare on it, so it's gonna be one of these like, just make sure you don't share it. Like I'll slip it out to early access people like a couple of hours beforehand, but we're going to have a lot of eyeballs on that because there's going to be a lot of questions. There's already a lot of questions about 76. So yeah, so it's yeah, that's the whole thing. Okay, if you have any questions and stuff, obviously I can't answer any questions about 76, so please don't ask, or ask them if you want, just for fun. But I can't say a word because nobody knows anything about it, and we know practically everything. So I'll read a couple of them here. Jacob, crazy to see how far Noclip has come. Right, yeah, thank you so much. It's been a year and a half. This is what we were sort of like hoping to plan and do, was to do a bunch of behind the scenes stuff. It's a different sort of beast. It's interesting. It's difficult to edit because you can't just go record a game and have all the B-roll you want. So that's obviously been interesting. But yeah, I'm super happy, and I'm super happy to finally be able to say it because it's been on the tip of our tongues this whole time. We have code names for every single game, just in case I was streaming or doing anything. All the bins, all the games have their own. Like I don't refer to anything as Fallout 3 on the timeline or Oblivion or anything. They've all got code names just in case. All the file names have code names just in case anything came up on a stream somewhere. So it's been a lot of stuff like that. Patreon only slips when people pay just for the docs they like. Most of us are in it for the concept, not the specific docs. I don't play Bethesda games, but I'm excited to see this. That's very true, actually. I think that's true. We do sort of have a general churn rate of people coming and going, but it seems like there's this like group of you sort of keeping the wheel spinning, which is pretty cool. When did Bethesda contact you for this? Long time in the making? Yeah, I mean, like, I think the conversation for this started pretty much at the start of the year. You might remember that the documentary we did on Doom obviously was through Bethesda, right? Because that's the parent company. So I knew a lot of the people there after we did the Doom doc because they were, the access they gave us to that as well. Like, we showed off Doom 2016 for the first time in that series. So we have a good relationship with those folks. I think they trust us. They're wonderful people to work with. I've worked with a lot of really cool PR people and marketing people as well. This one sort of went into a little bit over the past couple of years, and I can't say enough about how supportive they've been of this whole thing. So that's been really, really cool. I wish I could see behind the scenes of making this doc. So we've shot loads, Patrick. So we shot on location up there. We shot filming stuff here because we did a bunch of outdoorsy stuff, which you saw in the trailer, the skeleton and things like that. We filmed a lot of the prep work. I filmed some editing. I'm filming this right now. So Esteban is actually editing all of that. So he's going to turn it into a big feature about the whole thing, which will be a patron-only exclusive thing as well. So we have all that. Oh, I should also mention there was a little bit of funniness around the E3 ticket stuff. Jeremy's not joining me in LA, but my friend Dennis, who you know from A Tournament of Lies, is going to be in LA this year. And he's taking a few days off his vacation to come film behind the scenes stuff with me at E3 as well. So we're also going to film all the Bethesda stuff and what else we do when we show the doc part 2 for the first time. Part 2. I shouldn't call it part 2 anymore. Originally this was part 1 and part 2, but now they're two separate kind of like branded things. So we have all that sort of stuff. How is Steam Hospital going? That's the reason that's been knocked back a little bit. So it's like half edited and it won't be done until after E3 because this thing's taking so much time. But we'll have two podcasts. We'll definitely have one podcast coming out in June. We will probably have two because I'm recording something else with somebody. So that's going to happen as well. Billiards or pool? It's a pool table, but I have snooker balls. So if you're talking about billard, the French one, it's not that. It doesn't have enough pockets. But it's I play snooker on it when I can. What length are you looking for the actual docs? So the second one, by nature of the fact that we're showing it at E3, again there'll be an announcement about that tomorrow. That one's going to be about between 28 and 35 minutes. It's going to be pretty dense. The first one is going to be longer. It looks at least an hour at the moment because it covers everything from the sort of the first time Todd Howard walked through the door at Bethesda all the way to, I guess, Fallout 4 is the latest one, right? Yeah. So we dive into Morrowind, we dive into Oblivion, Skyrim, the whole shebang. So that one's going to be pretty long. Oh, and I should also mention, we're not really, I won't be talking about this publicly, but I'll tell you guys, once we have the two docs out, after E3, we actually have a bunch of other ones coming from this because we shot like 6 days worth of interviews. So what we're going to do, instead of doing the extended interviews, or maybe we'll probably also publish maybe the interview with Todd and a couple of others, but what we're going to make is like small little vignette docs, like smaller 5 to 10 minute docs about specific ones. So like there's a bunch of stuff about the Dark Brotherhood which just isn't making it into the doc because I had to cut something. So there'll be like a 5 to 10 minute doc about Emil Pagliarello. I have to learn how to pronounce his name. Talking about his design of the Dark Brotherhood. We have other stuff on like Fallout Shelter and things like that. There's going to be like mini little vignettes also coming out after the fact, in the weeks after. A bunch of those have already been sort of edited. I just threw them onto different timelines because I was like, no, this has to go, but I have to put you out sometime. So there you go. So at the moment we have 4 of those. I think one of them is about Ron Perlman. One of them is about E3 actually. We're probably going to use the stuff we film at E3 to finish that one off as well. About the prep for E3. One's about QA. So there's 5 actually we have at the moment, so there's quite a lot. Did anything surprise you during the development of this doc? Any humdingers you can share? Anything surprise me about this one? I don't think so because there was so much pre-production. Like, because this was coming in so late, because there was... Sorry, that was Anthony Maxwell who asked that. Because I knew I only had like 4 weeks to edit both of these, which is around what happened with the Horizon one. But the Horizon one, I did not know the structure. This one, I like had the structure. I had all the stuff. The way I edited this, not to get into too specific because this might be boring, I don't know. The way I edited the first one of these was very much I had a timeline for Oblivion and Skyrim and Fallout 3 and like put them in and edited individual docs and then put them all together and saw how it felt, because that was an easy one. The one on 76 is a bit trickier because it was a lot to digest. Nothing jumps out as that surprised me, except the entire project, the fact that it's happening. And that's pretty surprising. How much do you expect this type of project to represent Noclip's production going forward? Anything like this in the works for you that's similar beyond this? That's from Kyle Anderson. Yeah, so a lot of docs we do are trying to I don't know, like put an example down for other people we're talking to. So I'm already in talks with other studios about early pre-production stuff. They have no idea about this. I guess they will later today when the trailer goes live in an hour or so. I'm going to tease this on Twitter for like the next 45 minutes and really enjoy it as well. So if you want to get in on it, go for it. Just don't say what it is. Sorry, what was it was oh yeah. So I think this will help with that. We're actually looking at ones like even earlier than the stage that sort of like this one, because like we're looking at ones that are like this game hasn't been greenlit by the publisher yet, that type of thing, right? So I think that's going to be our next thing. But that's the type of thing that you're talking about, like covering something for years, right? So I mean, the other thing as well is like, who knows what we'll do? Maybe we'll keep covering the development of this game, or maybe we'll, maybe this will open up. I'm not sure how far back we'll go, basically, in the next while. The problem is if we start filming these now, it's going to be another like years until you'll see them, which is the problem with this one. But my hope is that once this one goes out, that it'll open those doors a little bit more, even though we already have a couple of other ones on the table. What are your E3 plans, asks Alex. Just trying to get a meeting for future docs. Can we expect you on a certain couch-based show afterwards? I don't have that many meetings for docs. There's one or two games that I'm pretty sure are going to get announced at E3 that I want to make sure that we have our foot in the door doc-wise. But I only have, I think, 2 of those types of meetings, whereas last year we'd loads. Last year all the Witcher stuff came together at E3 last year, and loads of other ones. Did Horizon? I don't know. Maybe it did. No, it was after. I'm going to be busy. Obviously, the Bethesda showcase. I've got something else during the week, which you'll all know about in relation to this. I have talked to Alex. I will be on the Giant Bomb couch at some stage, apparently. Yeah, Dad just asked the same question. And I don't really know what else I'm doing. I am I'm keeping it open because we're actually I'm probably going to be tweaking the second doc after the showcase, because I'm not exactly sure what they're showing. Like, I kind of know what's getting shown, but I don't know how much is getting shown and how much isn't. So I'm probably going to do some tweaking. So I've one of the days totally open just to tweak it. But aside from that, it's going to be open. What I'm guessing is that a lot of people are going to, or some people are going to hit me up once this goes live, and they know that what we're making, because it's a pretty big deal for us. It's a massive deal anyway. What's really cool is some of these docs might be packaged in the future in like some special edition of the games. Pretty crazy. Yeah, what I've actually been looking at is wondering if we can do something like that, while not treading on, like, I love the fact that we can keep doing these early access for you guys. Like, that's my go-to, and I love the fact that they're free. I'm not against them also getting packaged on something, you know what I mean? Like, I would be fine with them going in a game box as long as they're on YouTube as well. And actually, when I was editing the first video of this, it's the first time I've used everything's licensed by them. It's either licensed by me, not under commercial, so I'd have to re-up stuff. But gameplay-wise, there's no other games in there to be cleared. It's all Bethesda stuff. So in my head, I'm like, oh, if they wanted to, they actually could put this. Because the only other time they've done a doc, Bethesda hasn't done a doc since Oblivion, I believe. And that was on the disc. I watched it on YouTube recently, and I was like, oh, I've seen this before, and it was on a special edition of Oblivion on the 360. I remember the day I went down to the store to buy that. By the way, the amount of like Fallout and Elder Scrolls crap that's been lying around this studio that I've had to clear every time I've done a Twitch stream. There's like a Morrowind statue over there. I have a massive Skyrim map. The skeleton is standing up over there. It's like, now I can finally not care. So that should be funny. Crystal says, all of us over here are super hyped for your new documentary, Danny. Good luck. It's going to own Crystal at Gorilla. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it, Crystal. Your tattoo's fucking rad, by the way. This is my one. I got this one done. A couple of, I can't even see it. It's hard to show. Arms don't bend that. Yours is so fucking rad, Crystal. I saw it you posted on Twitter. I would love to have something like that done, like the whole thing. This will eventually I get this all done, but yeah, crazy. Is ESO covered in the first part? Repeat question for me if you missed it. Oh, sorry, Alan, I missed it. No, it's not, because it's not a Bethesda Game Studios game. So we only covered BGS games, so that's Todd Howard's team. So we've covered everything they sort of, the past, present, future is kind of like what we've covered, but only of them. So ESO doesn't fall into that, because that's actually made up in Baltimore at, I think they're called, is it ZeniMax Online Studios? So they reference it, I think, a little bit in the Skyrim part, but that's about it, I think. Yeah, so sorry, it's literally a different studio, so we couldn't cover that one, unfortunately. That would be such a cool piece for a collector's edition, especially if you're involved early on. GB did something similar with Bastion. Yeah, building the Bastion was a wonderful set of docs. So that's the type of thing I'm looking at doing, is more like, you know, giving people cameras, or like hiring somebody locally to go like once a week and spend a week there. So that type of thing. I've been budgeting it, and I think we can pull it off for the right game. So that's the sort of, we're literally sort of planning something like that at the moment. Not for Bethesda, but something else. Looks like you've already got some super vague Twitter hype. Oh, really? Fucking yes. I love it. I want to see this. Who did this? Nobody. I've been watching this all week. Nobody thought we were doing Bethesda 76. I can still barely say the words. So that's been fun. A lot of people have been saying God of War. Whenever a new game comes out, everyone always asks for that to be done. Like, that'd be so disappointing to do now, because it's like right before E3. It'd be really cool to do it eventually, but yeah. Okay, any more last minute questions? Please get them in. I'll probably show the trailer again to you guys one last time. It'll be live in about, I don't know how YouTube VODs work. I'm hoping that this thing once I stop, goes up as a VOD and you guys can see it and the chat all retains. That'd be pretty cool. So I'll have to see. McDougal asked 2 questions. How long has it been since you slept properly? I've been sleeping all right, actually. I have figured out. Last night I did not sleep well. It was too hot and I was too excited about this, so I ended up watching Formula E races until about 2:30 in the morning. But I've definitely gotten my work schedule, and the work-life balance is like, my depression over the winter was so bad, man. I just needed to like figure it out. So I go hit the punching bag once a day if I can. I've been losing weight. I put on a bunch of weight over winter. I've lost like 14 pounds in the past couple of months. I'm like I stop work. I stop work at 6 and I do not come downstairs. I don't work weekends. I'm working this weekend for the first time, just to finish it off, for the first time in months. That fucking shotgun. I'm so sorry. So that's been, so I've figured that out, thankfully. We'll see about the E3 week. Yeah, Double Fine Adventures stuff was really cool, Alan. I like that a lot. Where's the second question? Oh, any chance you might be able to do one on Half-Life? So if a couple of months back I announced that, and Ben, that's what I want to do, Ben, but I haven't. There's nothing to announce. Nothing's going on yet, but I'm hoping that gets shown at E3. That seems to be the rumor. Sorry, excuse me. Yeah, but the Half-Life one, we put a lot of feelers out there, because Half-Life's turning 20 years old in November 23rd. Is that right? November 15th? I always forget which one's which. And it's been, we're working on it. That's all I'll say, because it's all in play at the moment. So we're working on it. I need to get a punching bag. My work has consumed my life. Yeah, punching bags are handy. You can do like 20 minutes on a punching bag and feel real sweaty and good about yourself. But that's what you'd say if you're working on one now. That is true. That is true. I don't tend to say the names of. I don't tend to say confirm things if we are actually working on them. So, like, we're definitely actually not. I wouldn't lie to you about that. We're not. But I'd love to. I mean, we did like 7 docs with that studio, 6 docs with that studio. Hoping for you, man, but glad you're doing better. Thank you so much. I'm doing good. I'm doing all right now. Any last questions? Get them in. Let me make sure I didn't skip any. Alex, thank you so much for the kind comment. I really appreciate it. Go once a week and spend a week. I see what you did there. Is that what I said? Go once a week and spend a week. Spend a day out, man. Sorry. Silly me. I'm nagging at you, but do you like Shogo Marble Armor Division from 1998? Hey, the fact that I knew what the italicism or Shogun, did they call it MAD? I forget. Should show that I at least know what it is. Broodlord, you're a real 90s gamer, eh? I actually have never played. I think I might have played Shogo when I was working at GameSpot UK for something, but I do not know that game, so I need to figure that out. I'm sorry. You just said you are the best. I'm guessing because I knew what Mobile Armor Division was, but I actually don't really know that game. It's in that weird first person, like there was so many coming out. It's like if you ask somebody if they played Blood, and like I've played loads of Blood. Like I don't think I've completed Blood, but I played way too much Blood. Whereas like some people never played Blood, or like Hexen. Like there's so many like random 90s FPS, like that 96 to 99 era was no short. Like let's all talk about Project IGI for a moment, you know. I mean Shogo is like more of a classic than those, but like, yeah, there you go. Infinity Engine games would be the absolute coolest thing. Oh, Shogo and Infinity Engine. Okay, well there you go. That shows you how much I know about it. All right. It's the only game besides Titanfall 2 where you played some levels on foot and some on a mech. Dude, I was listening to a Giant Bombcast yesterday, and all I could think of was I want to go back and play Titanfall 2 single player again. That was like the best single player I've played in years. It's so good. Okay, that's it. I'm going to show the trailer one more time for you guys, because that'll be fun. See if you can spot any. I wonder if there's any like interesting little tidbits you can spot on this that are fun. All the stuff we shot in DC, that was a lot of fun. Thank you so much for supporting this work. I cannot thank you enough. This project has been very exciting. I think it's going to really excite people outside of Noclip. I think it's hopefully going to excite all you. Early access patrons, you will see the first doc. It's live on Tuesday at some stage. You'll get it before then. I'm aiming for sometime on Monday. And the second doc, I'm aiming to get that, slide that one out to you like a couple of hours before it's shown at E3. And there you go. Something fun for the end of your week, something to be excited about. The trailer will be going live in the next hour. I'm not sure when, maybe at 10, maybe 10:15, maybe something. I'm gonna tweet it out and fuck with people for next while, so feel free to get in on that. Brand, thank you for staying up. Thank you all for hopping into the chat. This was a lot of fun. I think we'll do this more often for early streams because this is a lot of fun. Or maybe we'll do like early previews or something. I didn't realize I could do YouTube streams that were private, so this is actually really cool. I really like this a lot. Actually, let me quickly, just in case people don't have YouTube accounts, let me quickly jump into the comments to see if there's any ones here. Okay, Ronnie from Texas here. If you're breaking a game announcement with a doc, that would be awesome. Kind of close enough. We've been working with Bethesda. Like, they know this is coming out today. We knew that they were doing everything yesterday. So all the, like, stuff in Discord and Twitter where I was like, what's this game? Sorry, it was just totally trying to throw everyone for a loop. And Anthony Maxwell, okay, there's a couple of comments in there. Okay, enjoy your sleep. Before you do, though, here's one last time. Here's the latest doc from Noclip, or I guess the latest couple of docs from us. Enjoy.
We're good. All right, you're streaming live. You may notice we have some cameras here and some guests from the Real Housewives of Rockville. Is that what it is?
So I played Daggerfall first and then got hooked and started playing all the other Bethesda games. But Arena at the time, I was like, oh, I don't know, that cover's so goofy. I don't think I could get into that.
You know, after we finished Redguard, the whole team, the whole entire company went downstairs into the basement and we would all package the games up to be shipped out. And that was sort of how things worked back then.
But I think the technology, it was the first big open world game that anyone could play.
We had to create gun combat from the ground up, something this company hadn't done since the Terminator game.
But I didn't want to tell him, yeah, I'm actually taking pictures of this so I can blow it up in a video game, which is exactly what I was about to do.
We have a lot of takes of Ron Perlman giving us War Never Changes in many, many ways.
We had Skyrim working on Xbox One, like before we had Fallout 4. Like it was like, let's just put it on there and try it.
The first thing is for us is figure out where the hell is this game set? And it wasn't Boston originally.
All right, that's it from me today. Thank you for joining me on this stream. If you're watching this in the future and this is a VOD on Noclip and the world has been ended by radioactive death, then I hope you enjoyed the docs. Let's hope they made it out. Thank you all so much again for supporting this work. We literally could not do this without you. Thank you for supporting us during this like weirdly quiet time. I hope this makes a bit more sense now, this whole thing. Yeah, I better get this thing out on the internet for everyone else to enjoy, thanks to you. So thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of your days. If you have any questions, by all means, hit me up on Patreon via the DM system. There's one or two I have to get it back to now. Happy trails. I'll see you guys in a couple of days for some early access goodness. All right, enjoy your day, folks. I'll talk to you later. This is gonna be a lot of fun. I'm gonna enjoy my time on Twitter this afternoon. I tell you what. The end slate is not accurate, so I'm sorry. The show is not starting soon. It's over. The show's over. The show's over. I love you. Goodbye.